Go.
Good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Craig. I'm the younger cousin of Donald Honeycutt, who has been missing since September 3rd of 2022, and the older cousin of Cortez McConnor Jr., missing since October 27th of this year. I am here today to demand action against the inactions of the police and media when it comes to the black and brown communities across the USA, but particularly this community with regards to police agencies and media outlets such as GRPD, MSP, and Wood TV8, the leading broadcasting station in West Michigan. As stated previously, I have two loved ones who are currently missing. Donald Honeycutt, a 6'2", 170-pound, 56-year-old at the time of his disappearance, male of African-American descent who goes by the name of Don D. And Cortez McConnor Jr., a 6'2", 155-pound, 16-year-old African-American male who goes by Tez the Jr. I have been on a constant mission to reach the masses about their disappearances. My unforeseen mission started when my eldest cousin, Donald Honeycutt, disappeared without a trace, September 3rd of 2022, from the Kentwood, Michigan area. My understanding, Donald was last seen leaving a cousin's apartment to go smoke a cigarette and never came back. Unexpectedly, my mission further evolved when my youngest cousin, Cortez McConnor Jr., went missing in the early hours of October 27th, 2024. Unprecedented events as such leaves one to wonder if they walked off or has something happened to them. And most importantly, what do I do? If I didn't know anything, I knew I needed to garner attention. For Donald, I shared his flyer throughout social media, made a missing Facebook page for him, and recently did an interview with Wood TV8 after I posted in several Facebook groups about my concerns on how his case never garnered the amount of attention it should have. I was called a race baiter and kicked out of groups that I was a member of for voicing my concerns on the disparities of the black and brown communities when it came to media attention we very well deserved also. I didn't deserve neither, especially I, one, am not a race baiter. Two, I was stating what was evident. For Cortez, I shared and hung flyers, spoke with several students, but immediately made contact with reporter Amanda Porter, a news anchor at Wood TV, who previously had contact with me regarding the post I posted in the groups about Donald's case. On October 29, 2024, 2 days after Cortez McConnor Jr. whereabouts were unknown, I asked for help in reaching the masses. I sent over pertinent information about my cousin Cortez, and she immediately submitted it all to the newsroom the same day. 2 days later, still no PSA about a 16-year-old kid missing in our community. So I emailed the station and complained. Now, after I watched my interview about Donald, I had emailed to the station to voice my concern about pertinent information being omitted from the original script to an edited, watered-down version. Now this. 2 days of publicity lost due to Wood TV8 not wanting to set a precedent for any runaway kid, to whom of which Cortez, a 16-year-old boy, was not a runaway, but truly missing. But let's just say he was labeled as a runaway. According to Wood TV's 8 own article on Pennywise, glad she was found safe, a 17-year-old teenager from Cedar Springs who willingly walked away from her home, a runaway, brought the city and the state out. Or perhaps the Romeo and Juliet teenage couple, of whom I'm grateful were found safe, Jaden Thomas, 13, of Clare, Michigan, and Braxton Wood, 14, of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, who had run away together and garnered national attention. These are just a couple local cases in the news very recently. But I wanted to know, what are the differences? Wood TV8 aired a piece covering Cortez from the search the family coordinated a week after he became missing. Nothing further was aired from that point up until a couple days ago, when members of the community started to send in complaints to the station and calling you out. Everyone knows the urgency regarding the time frame of getting the word out, in which we lost due to Wood TV8 not covering Cortez's story from when it was handed over October 29th. There was no urgency here, huh? Just another runaway black kid. After submitting another complaint, I received a response from Miss Holly Vaughting. If I pronounced her name wrong, I apologize. Stating, we have been airing his story and have been in contact with family members and attending events. We haven't gotten any updates from Grand Rapids Police Department regarding anything further of him. The difference of the two stories is that we reported updates that we were given from the police of sightings of her. We have no biases between one missing juvenile to another. Let's note, Pennywise was not missing. If you have any further frustrations with more information, you can direct your frustrations to GRPD, who is handling the case, as we would like more information on Cortez's whereabouts. This is what furthers my frustrations, because the level of audacity Ms. Holly has in her response is appalling. The nerve of me to question the difference in coverage amongst the cases. So now it boils down to GRPD doing their reporting to the news agencies. You know, it is so much more easier to point the finger than to acknowledge the media bias that is so evident. So why is it that we don't garner the same resources and attention that others do? Now, after a month has gone by, everyone is scrambling to bring awareness to Cortez McConnor Jr. case, still with no sense of urgency. I want all the police agencies and media outlets to know you all have an obligation to the community as a whole to thoroughly report and investigate, leaving no leads unturned while providing info to the public no matter what race it is. We all are human race and deserve the same privileges when it comes to investigating and reporting what goes on in our community despite any differences. Do better for your community as a whole. Thank you.